Thanks, Jack. Got the makers of a very, very interesting and important matchup in the CAA. One of 6 games on the schedule tonight. Kion, we were talking about it before we came on as we take a look at the Elon starting lineup. A change in the lineup. No Kasper Klacik, out for his 4th straight game. Bryson Coakley gets the start in place of Klacik. Transfer from out of George Mason along with Carr, Kuthrell, Pettis, and also Harold. And for Hampton, they also come in undermanned as well without Michael Ely. So a lot of that is going to be on Jalik Gaines-Wyatt, along with Struthers, Johnson, Agundale, and Xavier Long, who we thought, some talk that he may not play tonight, but he is in the starting lineup. He is the CAA's leading rebounder at just under 10.5 boards a night. Styles make fights, and we got a pretty interesting one tonight.
Absolutely. Basketball is a game of flow, and you have to establish yours and disrupt theirs. And there's been few teams in the CAA, unlike Hampton, who's been able to do it on the defensive end. But you got a really explosive offense that you're going up against in the Elon Phoenix.
Hampton only averages about 69 points per game. That is 12th best in the CAA, but they've allowed the 4th fewest points in conference this year. Johnson's first shot is true to give Hampton an early lead.
Excellent job on the first possession by Hampton. Went with a little pick and roll action. You draw an extra help defender, swing it out to the sideline 3. You pump fake, get to the lane, and shoot the floater. Excellent start on the offensive end by the Pirates. DJ
averaging 9.4 points per game this season to give the Pirates the lead. There's that Princeton action working well by Elon, and it results in a foul against Struthers, his first.
Now, Elon's not full-blown Princeton offense, but they do run elements of the Princeton offense. How do you contain elements of the Princeton offense? You have to pressure the ball handler. If you let them pick you apart, it's like a quarterback with an open pocket, right? They'll just pick you apart all night long. You have to force those decision-makers to force pressure on them.
Randall Pettis, Jack mentioned about his history with head coach Billy Taylor, the junior from out of Northern Kentucky, a transfer from Northern Kentucky. Second leading scorer on the team at just under 13 points per night as he splits the pair to put Elon on the board. They came with a little bit of pressure, and Gaines-Wyatt tries to attack it. Here's DJ, and the rebound squeezed in by Carr.
This is a unique lineup for Elon right here. All 5 players have the ability to get a defensive rebound and start the secondary break on their own.
Here's Coakley from the elbow, and Struthers grabs the miss.
That's a tough 2. If you're Hampton, you'll live with that.
Struthers, one of the best defenders this season in the CAA, trying to create offensively. 3 ball in the corner by Daniel Johnson. He's missed his last 2 after his first make. And Elon with a chance to take the lead for the first time tonight.
Elon's a team that likes to get open floor opportunities, but this is where they want to beat you, right in the half court, where they can dissect the defense and get the shot that they want on their terms.
Kuthrell, as Coach Taylor mentioned, does have the ability to stretch the defense. That is his 24th made 3 this season, and gives the Phoenix a 2-point lead.
Yeah, the highlight in the opening package was him doing his work around the rim, but he's also showing you his ability to stretch the defense and knock down a 3-ball.
Came in averaging just under 28% from 3 this season, and Tony Crisp blows the whistle and calls a foul on Elon. It's going to go against Pettis. Both teams coming in, Kion, undermanned, as Elon only dressed about 10 guys tonight. Hampton is very thin as well. No Michael Ely and no Christian Watson in the lineup tonight.
Got to have that next man up mentality. If you're a player that doesn't get a lot of minutes, you could steal minutes when those guys get healthy based on your play.
Gaines-Wyatt averaging just under 12 points a night this season. Deflected out of bounds by Coakley. It'll stay with Hampton with 9 to shoot.
As soon as Josh Agundale got that ball, Elon brought the double team. You got to be able to play without the basketball if you're the perimeter players of Hampton. Relocate to those open spots on the floor so that pass is easier. It was almost a steal.
Johnson trying to create against Coakley with 5 to shoot and is fouled by the transfer from George Mason.
To start this game, Daniel Johnson's been extremely aggressive on the offensive end. 4 possessions, 4 shots for him. Knocked down the first, missed the next 2, and then drove and got fouled for the chance to put 2 on from the free throw line.
He's a 71% shooter this season, one of 4 team captains this season for Coach Thomas. The All-CAA preseason honorable mention selection. Collectively, Hampton's 7th best in the conference in free throw shooting at 71%. Makes both for a tie game at 4 as we're inside 17 and a half minutes to go.
There's some full court pressure by Hampton. If you're Elon, you don't have to force anything. What that pressure allows you to do if they don't force a turnover is it forces the offense to sometimes get shots laid up in that shot clock.
Here's Core, the orchestrated to Kuthral inside against Agundale plus the foul.
Showing you that motor. He's got the bigger Agundale on him, but he tried to use that speed and quickness on the spin move. Agundale has to hold those hands straight up. Can't be at an angle. He'll go through it and get the and one. You see it in the post right here. Using that spin move middle, going straight up, finishing over the big fella.
One of 3 players in CAA this season averaging just over 20 points a night. He's at 20.7. He's averaging 20.1 in conference play this season. Gives the Phoenix a 3-point lead. Gaines Wyatt against Carr. The assignment defensively for Elon with 10 to shoot for the Pirates. Here's Struthers on the drive, blocked by Pettis. Johnson has it with 2 to shoot, and Johnson doesn't get it off.
Elon's not a team that's known to get it done on the defensive end, but I love the defensive intensity to start this game in the first 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Hampton has not made a field goal in over 3 minutes. After that DJ shot in the lane to give the Pirates a 2-0 lead.
There was a lot of confusion on that last possession by the Pirates. They started off in the horn set, but guys were confused.
Here's Carr maneuvering inside, and Johnson flies in for the rebound. A deflection by Kuthral, knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Hampton as we're at the 16-12 mark in the first half.
That's another great defensive possession by the Phoenix. Getting back in the secondary break defense. Stopping the basketball, walling up, building a wall of 4 extra defenders.
Elon with a 3-point lead after that 3-point play made by Kuthral, as he has 6 of Elon's 7 points in the first half and comes up with a steal. Carr leaves it for Hill and leaves it for Spell. It was stolen by Struthers. Here's Johnson on the drive. Goes with the reverse. Agundale's the rebound, and he's fouled by Spell. And that brings us to our first timeout of the evening. Chandler Kuthral inside has scored 6 of Elon's 7 points and has given the Phoenix a 3-point lead.
Tonight's matchup isn't just about the final score. It's part of a nationwide effort to make an impact off the court. Coaches versus Cancer, a long-standing partnership between the National Association of Basketball.
In the stillness, there is focus. In the shadows, there's preparation. And when the lights rise, the Pirates emerge. Every breath, every stride, every shot carries the weight of tradition. This is not just basketball. This is pride. This is Pirate Nation. Raise the anchor, stand with us, and witness the battle at home. Tickets for men's and women's basketball are on sale now at HamptonPirates.com. Hampton Basketball, where legends are made.
Hampton University and North Carolina A&T State University men's basketball teams are headed to NBA All-Star 2026. They will compete in the 5th NBA HBCU Classic presented by AT&T.
Every year the NBA has the HBCU Classic at the NBA All-Star Game, and you guys will be there.
The NBA provides an international platform. It's impossible to measure the impact of performing on this stage.
This Coastal Athletic Association matchup is Friday, February 13th, 2026 at the Kia Forum in Inglewood, California.
I don't think you can have two better representatives when you talk about history and legacy and what the two institutions bring.
Don't miss this weekend filled with competitive gameplay and marching band performances celebrating HBCU pride.
For us to be able to partner with an entity like the NBA, that signifies success.
I'm hoping to showcase both the HBCU experience, but also the CAA experience, that night in and night out, how competitive our league is.
Visit NBAevents.com for more info.
Elon with a 3-point lead, and there's a good shot at fifth-year head coach Billy Taylor from Elon, a graduate of Notre Dame, played with Digger Phelps back in the 90s. Right now he has his Phoenix at a 13-10 mark, 5-5 in conference play, one of 4 teams tied for 4th in the conference standings as Josh Agundale is at the line, the transfer from Tennessee State. Scores his first point to pull Hampton to within 2. Sean Robertson, Kion Brown, and Jack Lowe, the third member of our crew standing by, has a report. Jack?
Very much, Sean. A very fun matchup entering tonight. I'm sure you guys have talked about Hampton, one of the better defensive teams in the CAA entering tonight. Also for Elon, one of the better offensive teams entering the CAA tonight. Elon wants to play fast. We know that from Coach Taylor talking to us. It's going to be a lot of fun to see what happens the rest of the night, guys.
You're right, Jack. Elon's second in the CAA and scoring at just over 82 points a game. That's 65th in the conference, or 65th in the country in scoring. Here's Coakley maneuvering inside, and last touched by Elon as it will go to Hampton as Xavier Long hit the floor pretty hard, and Coach Ivan Thomas does not want to see another Pirate go down due to injury.
Yeah, when you're playing against Elon, your ball screen defense has to be at a premium. They run a lot of pin downs, flare screens, down screens. You have to be able to communicate ELO. What does that mean? Early, loud, and often whenever you're playing against the Phoenix.
I like that ELO.
Yeah, man.
Pirates with a chance to retake the lead on this possession as they trail by 1. They have not made a field goal in nearly 4.5 minutes. Elijah Kennedy wearing number 8 in for the first time. Struthers in the corner. Misfires on the 3, and Ned Hull, the redshirt sophomore from Charlotte, grabs the board.
Struthers couldn't knock it down, but that was one of the best looks on the offensive end that Hampton's gotten all night. For Hampton, the offensive particulars must be better. The speed, the spacing, the flow, and the shot selection.
Gaines Wyatt going coast to coast. Rebound to Unique Rink, and a fresh 20 for the Pirates. Gaines Wyatt with the reverse and gives the Pirates the lead again.
If you're Elon, you got to close possessions with defensive rebounds. You've put on film that you're not the most physical bunch when it comes to closing out possessions. Hampton has watched film, they've studied, and they said we can attack you on the offensive glass.
Pirates by 1. A little pick and roll action by Elon. Good defensive play by Rink, and out of bounds to Hampton.
All you got to do, if you're the big fella Rink, you got that long 7-foot wingspan, make the defense play through you. Show your chest, show your hands, force that offensive player to play through you. It's too much length. There's not much they can do about that.
Keon, you was talking about next man up mentality for Coach Thomas, missing a couple of guys on the offensive end, but that does translate on the defensive end.
Yeah, well, these players get scholarships too. And at the same time, when it's that next man up mentality, you have to revert to what you were in high school. Everybody was the star in high school, but when you get to a Division I program, you have to find your role. And when one player is a scorer and their role is diminished because they're out, the next person has to step up.
Hampton with a 1-point lead, under 10 to shoot. Struthers on the drive, the pull-up, and the rebound by Isaac Harrell, the junior from out of Jonesboro, Arkansas. DeMarco Johnson Handling right now, wearing number 8 in for the first time for Elon. Caleb Middleton in, wearing number 5. Hall left open for 3. He scored a career-high 14 against William & Mary on 4 made threes and has got his first to give Elon a 2-point advantage.
Hall's the guy who has made 28 field goals this season. 21 have been from 3. So that means you know what his role is. He wants to knock it down. You have to account for him at all times.
Gaines Wyatt gets the step and goes to the free throw line. 121 free throw attempts this year for Gaines Wyatt. He'll get 2 more at the stripe.
It's because he has that quick first step off the bounce. And also, he's a blur in the open court. So hard to stay in front of him. And then he has that nice strength, nice upper body, where he's able to absorb contact and finish over defenders.
77% shooter this season from the line is Gaines Wyatt. As Quentin Cooper, a freshman from out of D.C. and Coolidge High School, in for Struthers. 1 of 2 for Gaines Wyatt. And something Coach Taylor told us last night was concerned about the depth. Even though Hampton is missing a couple of guys, Coach Thomas will probably go 11, maybe 12 deep.
You have to when you're playing against this Elon offense who makes you work all night long.
Pettis going up against Kennedy with 9 to shoot. Good head fake by Pettis. Had it partially blocked. Middleton grabs a loose ball with under 5 to shoot. Pettis gets it off in time. And the rebound squeezed in by Middleton. Middleton over Rink. Had that partially blocked by Unique.
A lot of fight. Now is the chance for secondary break opportunities. But again, Elon's doing a good job getting back.
Long misses on the 3. Hold the rebound for Elon as they lead by 1. They have missed 8 of their last 9 shots from the field. And a steal by Gaines Wyatt and another foul on Randall Pettis. And that will be his second. 2 big fouls on the junior from North Carolina. As that brings us to the under-12 media timeout. Gaines Wyatt has got 3 points on the evening as Hampton trails by 1. Inside that Pirates huddle is the head coach for Hampton in his second year, Ivan Thomas. 27-29 career record. They are really, really good at home since he's taken over. 17-5 here in the Convocation Center. 7-1 so far this season at home, and holding the second most prolific offense in the CAA, Kion, to just 10 points so far.
Yeah, well, he's preached defense since he's been here at Hampton.
Hey, Coach Ivan Thomas during that timeout talking to his in the huddle. He's encouraging his shooters to get that ball beyond the perimeter. He wants the defense to double team to get his shooters open. As for the defense, wall up. He wants to keep the Phoenix out of the paint. Guys.
Yeah, Coach Thomas is always preaching defense, right? As an individual, you want to be a dog, but as a unit, you got to be a pack of wolves. And that's exactly what Hampton is. There's not a weak link on the defensive end for this Hampton Pirates team.
They've allowed only 68 points per game this season. That's 4th best in the CAA. A missed jumper by Quentin Cooper, and here comes Elon in transition, up by a point as Kuthrul is back in for the Phoenix. He's got 6 of their 10 points as Coakley misfires on the 3. Last touch by Xavier Long. It'll stay with Elon and a new 20.
It won't show up on the stat sheet, but Elon is forcing Hampton to take a lot of tough twos. And it won't show up on the stat sheet that way, like I just said, but bad shots are basically turnovers, and it puts your defense in a lot of conflict.
As Chandler goes back to the line as Unique Rink is whistled for his first foul. That's one of the mantras for Coach Thomas. Tough twos, no threes on defense. Kuthrul, a 70% shooter this season. He's one of the nation's leaders in makes and attempts at the line. And he's first in the conference in also free throw attempts, 5th in free throw makes.
For a guy like him, his biggest skill set is his ability to play hard. You simply have to outwork him. There are a lot of shot fakes, pump fakes, pivots. two things you got to have when you're guarding him in the post: your mama's hips and your daddy's feet. Then you got to be able to move laterally. If not, he'll explode past you every single time.
I'm about to write that down. Was it your mama's hips and
your mama's hips and your daddy's feet?
I like that. And I'll give you courtesy for that as well. The free throw jumper missed by Cooper. Hampton frigid from the field here in this first half, as they are 2 for 13 from the field, yet only trailed by 2. Here's Hull. Shot clock is at 10 for Carr. Trying to create against Johnson. Shot clock's at 5. The fadeaway rolls in for Jawan Carr, the transfer from UNC Pembroke.
I'll take good offense over good defense any day of the week. That was excellent defense by Hampton, but Carr just shot over the outstretched arm and just knocked it in as time was going down.
Cooper trying to create, and does so over Ned Hall. Cooper's first field goal.
It's a tough finish, but you understand when you're playing against Phoenix, it's going to be tempo.
And there it was right there as Cuthrell on the other end scores again. Now his 9th point in this first half.
He shot the 3, went off the bounce, and now you see him running the floor. As a big, that's all you got to do. Run straight down the middle of the court, make yourself available, and your point guards will find you. All you have to do is finish. Cuthrell has been unbelievable to start this game so far.
9 points on 3 of 4 shooting from the field, and is also 2 of 3 from the stripe. Well on his way to scoring in double figures for the 37th time of his career.
And he's just doing it with hard work. He's just playing hard, posting hard, driving hard, running the lanes hard. You have to guard this guy for 40 straight minutes.
Gaines Wyatt can't make the 3, and a foul away from the ball is going to go against Elon. And that's on Bryson Spell, the hometown product, just down the road at Virginia Beach. Is whistled for his second foul.
Virginia Beach, home of Grammy award-winning rap duo Clips. Mm-hmm. We love it.
Spell played his high school ball at Cape Henry.
Okay.
It's probably some famous people there. Maybe some Grammy winners there. And we got another foul on Elon. That's on Coakley. That's his second foul. So you've got Pettis, Coakley, and Spell each with 2 fouls and free throw opportunities for the rest of the half for the Pirates, as that is Elon's 7th so far.
And if you're Hampton, you're only shooting 21% from the field, so the prime objective for the rest of this half should be to attack. If you're going to get fouled, you just got to be able to knock down free throws.
And Gaines Wyatt leads the team in free throw makes this season. He's 6th best in the conference in free throw makes and attempts this season, the transfer from Alcorn State. And that's the best way to kind of get yourself out of a funk offensively, is to see that go in from the free throw line.
Creates an offensive rhythm for your squad. But at the same time, the shot selection still has to be much better for Hampton.
Pirates are 7 of 8 from the line, but 3 of 14 from the field, and only trailed by 2. Coming up on the 9-minute mark of this first half. Nice pass inside to Spell. Gets it back, leaves it for Cuthrell for 3, and the rebound squeezed in by Johnson. Hampton a chance to retake the lead on a 3. Johnson from the elbow. Agundale got fouled as he collided with Carr, and it looked like Carr got hit on the side of the face on the collision.
There's nothing that Elon can do with Agundale on the inside. It's just too much size. But at the same time, you can't keep putting pressure on your transition defense if you're Hampton by shooting these tough 2s. Play from the inside out. Run some clean offense. Get a great shot that you want on your terms. Offensive rebounding that's been there for the Pirates. But at the same time, you also want to run some good offense.
Agundale shooting 63% from the line this season. Couldn't convert on the 1-and-1. Elon will maintain their 2-point lead on this offensive trip. Coming up on 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. Johnson off the screen, misses, and Agundale the rebound. Here's Gaines Wyatt inside and ties it up.
And that play was so impressive because of the screen, or the ghost screen by Agundale.
And Hampton didn't get back on D as Kuthral gets inside and scores his 11th point of this first half.
Yes, as soon as that ball is through the net, Kuthral is looking for rim run opportunities.
And Gaines Wyatt back on the other end has 9 for Hampton to lead the way.
For both of these teams, you know there's going to be pace. The question is, can you get back in transition and establish your defense?
They're going to get Aiden Haskins with the foul, a hold on Kuthral, and that'll send Elon on an inbound when we come back, as we're at the under 8-minute mark, tied at 17.
The CAA is committed to
on sale now at CAAsports.com/MBB. Be a part of the excitement. March 6th through the 10th in Washington, D.C. at Care First Arena, the 2026 CAA Men's Basketball Championships. Jack was inside the Elon huddle and has got a report for us. Jack.
Thank you, Sean. Hey, Elon already getting into foul trouble very early in this game. They have 8 right now. Hampton is in the bonus for the rest of the half, and they had 8 a few minutes ago as well. But I'll tell you what, we've talked about it. They're playing their way. They're playing quick. They've gone coast to coast a couple of times now, including 2 possessions ago. You know that's what they want to do. Coach Ivan Thomas trying to limit that. Elon having their way right now. Just got to stay out of foul trouble.
And Kion, it was something that both coaches were talking about, basically which teams will play out in this game.
Yeah, when you talk about rebounding, when the shot goes up, that's when the fight begins. It's not good enough to just try to attack the rebound. You have to find your assignment, put a body on him, and then go get the rebound.
Long rebound was chased down by Middleton, but he stepped on the baseline, and Hampton will be back on offense. But like Hall almost had a violation on that inbound.
Yeah. Here for Hampton, you got to execute after the timeout. You knew there was an offensive set being drawn up. But credit to Elon's defense, one of their best performances that I've seen early on this season.
That's a big-time move and a big-time catch by Agundale. His first field goal of the game gives the Pirates a 2-point lead.
And I'll tell you why that was so impressive. It's because when you throw the high-low pass, you cannot worry about the defender of the teammate that you're passing to. You have to worry about the help side. But since they ran the offense in the middle third of the court, it helped take away help side defense.
21-19, check it, 19-17 rather. Hampton with a 2-point lead. Back to that pass.
There it is, big fella getting it and just finishing strong. They don't want to foul, so you get easy layups at the rim.
Here's Harrell in the corner. Long rebound chased down by Haskins. We've had 3 ties and 4 lead changes in this first half so far. They go back to Agundale inside. And that's too strong for Josh Agundale, his second straight made field goal.
Nothing you can do about it. It's just too much size, especially when you're not trying to foul. And they're not bringing the double team either. So if I'm Hampton, I'm playing through Agundale on the offensive end for the rest of this half.
Here is Pettis, stripped away by Struthers, and grabs the loose ball. Hampton up by 4, taking it all the way against Pettis with the left hand. And a quick timeout by Billy Taylor as Hampton is in the midst of an 8-0 run over the last 90 seconds to have their largest lead, Kion, in the first half.
And at the same time, Hampton has been an offensive team that has struggled this season, but they are at their best when they're out in open floor opportunities and they get out in transition. So many unique players on this roster that have the skill set to get a rebound and go, to get the basketball and drive directly to the basket. It's all about if you can stop it. Elon hasn't been able to stop it as of late, and in return, Hampton is playing with a much better offensive flow.
And it seemed like, Kion, that Coach Thomas has found something with the Agundale in the post.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep feeding the big fella. They're not bringing the double team. They're not trying to foul. They'll be in the double bonus soon. keep playing on the offensive end from the inside out. Good things have happened for the Pirates whenever they play in the painted area.
That is Coach Thomas's mom, Lucille, who has been a mainstay here at the Convocation Center for every home game for Hampton since Coach Thomas has taken over. And she has been a lot this season, and she's voicing her approval during this 8-0 run by the Pirates.
Ain't nothing like the support of mama, ain't it? Nothing like it.
We were told that she stands the entire game. Only time she sits is during timeouts. So this run for Hampton has been with Kuthral on the floor for Elon. And they really haven't gone to him the last couple of possessions, even though he leads all scorers with 11 points.
And on the other end, Hampton continues to attack in the paint because there's not much rim protection out on the floor for Elon. Kuchar has the ability to, but when you're not trying to foul, put your team in conflict.
Coach Thomas didn't like that late whistle blown by Isaac Barnett as Agundale picks up his second foul.
That's Kuchar again off of the bounce. Whenever he's going up against a bigger defender, he can blow past him. And if you put a smaller guy on him, he just uses that length to score over top of him. Got to find a way to slow him down.
This is just me, but it looks like he's got NBA footwork.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Not at all. I mean, you have to do your work early with him on the defensive end. You can't allow him to establish post presence on the offensive end. And then if he gets the basketball out on the wing, you got to be able to crowd his space.
13 first half points for Chandler Kuthral, the transfer from Purdue Fort Wayne. He leads the way, leads all scorers. Here is Long, tried to create, held up by Harold. Struthers, Haskins, Rink, Cooper, and Long on the floor for the Pirates. Agundale has to sit with those two fouls. 5 to shoot for the Pirates. Here's Haskins for 3. And the rebound squeezed in by Carr. Up ahead is Kuthral, had it through his hands. Hampton has made 5 of their last 6 field goals as they lead by 4. Struthers taken away by Kuthral. A 2-on-1. Kuthral, Conkley, blocked by Struthers, and they're going to get a goaltend.
Just like practice, that 2-on-1 transition set for Hampton right there, or for Elon.
Oh, that was close. Let's watch that again. Started by the steal.
Dump it off to your partner. Definitely hit the backboard first.
Yep.
Right call.
Trey Styons was on top of that along with Isaac Barnett to call that goaltend. And Elon on a mini 4-0 run. Here's Cooper inside, gets the bounce and a whistle as they're going to get this against Hampton. That basket will count, but they're going to get the foul on Hampton.
Now Elon shoot free throws the rest of the way as well.
We'll shoot 1 and 1 out of this, guys.
Let's watch that again. Cooper gets the basket, and then we watch inside. They're going to say Cooper pushed Kuthral while the ball was in the air.
Okay, I didn't see much there, bro.
So that's Cooper's second. And as you heard Jack mention, 1 and 1 now for Elon. As Long grabs that rebound.
Rasheed Wallace used to say, ball don't lie.
That's true.
I didn't see much on the other end.
Cooper comes up short on the 3, an offensive rebound for Hampton. Extra pass goes to Haskins and knocks down the triple. His 22nd made 3 this season.
The best time to get an open 3 is off of an offensive rebound.
And Kuthral is awfully aggressive on a made basket and draws another Hampton foul.
He's just putting his head down and sprinting to the other basket. Coach Thomas is not happy about that. You have to match his energy, match his aggressiveness. And he runs the floor so well that all he do is acts like a wide receiver, holds their hand up, catching. He's in a position where all he has to do is finish.
You may have seen Coach Thomas kind of point to Cooper saying, you're looking up at the lights, you're looking at the ball. And Kuthrell is basically seeing that the ball's in flight. I'm going to take off like a wide receiver. And that mental mistake is going to cost Cooper some time on the bench. As Struthers comes back in. That's one thing that Coach Thomas has preached this season, and that's defense. Defense, defense, and defense. Kuthrell missed both.
In order to win on the road, you got to protect the basketball and you have to knock down free throws. Right now, Elon shooting 50% from the free throw line.
While Hampton is 7 of 9 at 78% from the stripe. Pirates with a 7-point lead. It's their largest of the game. As we're coming up on 4 minutes to go. Here's Haskins. His second made field goal. He has 5.
Showing you ability to drive in the mid-range. He's one of those guys that like to spot up shoot, but right there just shooting over the top of the Elon defense.
A 30-21 Hampton lead as we're inside 4 minutes. Two-man game to Kuthrell inside, and he'll score.
Beautiful offensive possession right there by Elon. Kuthrell making contact on the screen, rolling hard. When you run that pick and roll and you're a big, you have to go up with the understanding that if I make contact and roll hard, all I have to do is catch it and finish.
That ended a 7-0 Pirates run. Haskins again for 3. Struthers tried to save it. He couldn't. It'll go back to Elon when we come back with 3:25 to go. Haskins off the bench has provided a spark with 5 as the Pirates lead by 7. Has been the play, Kion, of Chandler Kuthrell.
He's knocking down threes. He's rim running. He's attacking off of the bounce. Hampton has no problem, no answer for him. He's been a problem all night long. You got to find a way to slow him down as this game goes on, or it's going to be a long night. He's putting this defense of Hampton in a lot of conflict.
Coming in averaging 20.7 points per game and is in the top 25 in the nation and scoring per night. He's going to take a breather for this stretch here for Elon as they trail 30-21. More on this game from Jack.
Coach Ivan Thomas drawing up a play for this possession, trying to get a bucket. Told his team explicitly, do not turn the ball over, and that is the PG version, Sean. And then after that, he said, hey, we've got to get up and down the floor. Let's limit that transition, guys.
Hampton has actually done a pretty good job of taking care of the ball. They've only turned it over 3 times. But the transition defense, Kion, has been a concern and a problem as an offensive foul is called on Elon. That is on Spell, and that's his 3rd.
That's not how you execute after the timeout if you're Elon. And if you're Hampton, you got to execute here and continue to try to extend this lead.
Not a good homecoming for Bryson Spell, the grad transfer from Liberty, who grew up down the road in Virginia Beach. 9-point Pirates lead. Extra pass to Daniel Johnson for 3. Rankin offensive rebound. Struthers for the triple. Rank another offensive rebound. That is 8 offensive rebounds for Coach Thomas's Pirates in the first half.
And at the same time, Kuchar has no rebounds for Elon. So for all of that scoring he's doing, he's going to have to put some more effort on grabbing rebounds as well.
Hampton with those 3 opportunities, they could not cash in as Elon catches a break. Kuthrell in the corner, hits another triple.
If he has that 3 ball going, it's just nothing you can do about it. It's just not. He can play on the inside. Showing you now he can play on the outside. When he has it going, you just pray that he misses.
Xavier Long on the other end hits the 3.
Xavier Long, one of those unique players as well. He also has the ability to play on the inside and out. One of those guys who has been there, done that in college basketball, and if you give him opportunities, he'll produce.
And on the other end, back and forth, this is Carr, Jawan Carr, with his second made field goal to pull Phoenix to within 33-28 as we're inside of 2 minutes.
Elon's offense has been best when they've played in the middle third of the court, taking away help defense. have to continue to exploit the Hampton defense by running offense in that middle third of the court.
Here's Gaines Wyatt inside. The turnaround over Carr. Coakley the rebound as we're coming up on a minute. And the Phoenix down by 5. Here is Hull for 3. Ring it up.
So if you're Hampton, you stopped the basketball. You did your job there. But then you didn't match up with the other 4 defenders. And Hull just had a step-in, shoot-around jump shot.
Gaines Wyatt would try it again. Elon now with a chance to tie or take the lead as Daniel Johnson causes a jump ball. And the arrow will stay with the Phoenix.
It's just Juwan Carr being lethargic with the basketball. On the road, you have to protect the basketball in order to stay in games. Your defense has to travel. You have to protect the basketball. You have to knock down free throws.
Coach Billy Taylor mentioned that to us last night. Especially with a team that is played very, very good basketball here at home under Coach Thomas. That's one of the things they had to do was to take care of the basketball. As now we've got a replay, either to check time on the big clock or on the shot clock. As Trey Skyons and Isaac Barnett were at the replay monitor. Isaac stays. And they have adjusted the big clock, and they will put it to 51.7 seconds. That will be the new time on the clock. And if you're Elon, you got an opportunity to really go 2 for 1 here, Kion.
Yeah, you do. You just have to run clean offense. Basketball right now is all about manipulation. How can you manipulate the defense so that you can get the shot that you want, get a stop on the defensive end, and then close the half with a quality look on the offensive end yourself?
About a minute ago, Hampton had a 9-point advantage. It's now at 2, and Elon has a chance to tie or take the lead. Coakley goes against Haskins. Coakley from the elbow. A tough shot that was drilled by Bryson Coakley.
And again, that was great defense by Hampton, but better offense by Elon. Coakley in particular picked his spot, just shot it right over the defender.
His second made field goal, a 7-0 Elon run. And Hampton will hold it for the last shot with coming up on 10 seconds to go. Here's Wyatt trying to create. Loses the handle, gets it back, stolen by Harrell. Harrell gets it off in time. It would have counted, and the half ends with Elon on a 7-0 run over the final 146 to tie it at 33. A big turn of events for Elon as they tie it up at 33 going into half. Jake is standing by with head coach Ivan Thomas.
Guys, talking with Coach Ivan Thomas here. Coach, they clearly want to get out in transition and play quick. How do you limit that in the second half?
We got to continue to defend. They made a run at the end of the half. We got to continue to defend and play our game, get the ball from side to side.
How do you continue the offensive success in the second half and continue to get the shots you want?
We just continue to play with pace, get the guys to continue to listen and play with pace.
Thanks, Coach. Guys.
Thank you very much there, Jack. Hampton had a chance to lead at the break. When they are tied at the half, they lost their only one this season. So we'll see how that turn around here in the second half. Elon and Hampton tied at 33. Halftime activities from the Convocation Center will start after we come back on Flow Hoops. Radford Highlander, Kion Brown, I'm Sean Robertson. First half, it was back and forth for a little bit. Hampton had control up until the final 2 minutes of the half when Elon went on a big run.
Yeah, well, basketball is a game of runs, and it's typically the team who has the longest in or last run who wins the game. Hampton had the first run. Elon closed the first half with the last run. Now we got to see how they come out in the second half and try to continue those runs and close out the game.
Let's take a look at some of those first half highlights. You're going to see a lot of Chandler Kudrow for Elon because he led all scorers in the first 20 minutes with 18 points. And he did it from a multitude of ways, but it started by Daniel Johnson for Hampton.
Well, Kuchar's been unguardable. He's knocking down a three. He's rim running. He's playing off of the bounce in the mid-post. If you're Hampton, you might have to consider bringing an extra defender when you're trying to guard this kid. 18 points in the first half means he's on pace for 36. You got to slow him down.
Ned Hall tried to get that offense going from the perimeter as they were 4 of 9 from 3 in the first half. But a pleasant surprise for Hampton was the play of Quentin Cooper.
Yeah, and at the same time, for the Pirates, good things have happened on the offensive end when they played in the middle third of the court and also when they played from the inside out. Elon doesn't have much size on the inside to contain those bigs of Hampton, so you got to continue to feed your bigs if you're the Pirates.
Elon ended the first half on a 7-0 run to turn what was a 7-point deficit into a 33-33 tie. We had 4 ties and 4 lead changes as we are level at 33 here at the half. Let's take a look at some of those halftime stats for both teams. We mentioned how Chandler Kuthro had a big first half as he had 18 first half points as he was 6 of 8 shooting from the field. Elon 46% from the field in the first half, and Hampton just 2 of 11 from 3 in the first 20 minutes.
Well, the offensive particulars for Hampton need to be better. The spacing, the flow, the shot selection, and then if you're Elon, you haven't had one of your better offensive halves as well. You're shooting 46%, that will work. But at the same time, this offense has the chance to put a lot of points on the board in the second half. So Hampton's going to have to bring their A game on the defensive end again in the second half.
And one of the other stats that Coach Thomas mentioned to us last night was rebounding. If they got 13 or more offensive rebounds, they had a really good chance of winning the game. They're winning the battle of the board, and offensive rebounds +3 for Hampton.
Well, they've understand that when the shot goes up, that's when the fight begins. You have to find your assignment, box them out, drive them back, and then go pursue the rebound. When you're watching film against Elon, you understand that offensive rebound will be available. You just have to go secure them.
Jalik Gaines-Wyatt leads Hampton with 9 points in the first half. Chandler Kuthro leads all scorers with 18 in the first 20 minutes. We're going to look at some CAA standings when we come back here at the Convocation Center as the Pirates and Phoenix are tied at 33 here on Flow Hoops.
Talk about SAC. SAC stands for
in the standings. As you look at it right now, there's not a lot of separation between third place Stony Brook and 11th place Hampton. 2 games separates 3 and 11 with only 8 regular season games left, Kion.
And I call the CAA positive parity. If you're Hampton, you're at the bottom third, but if you get 2 wins, you're at the top third in the snap of a finger. You have to find a way to win games, especially in February. This is when you want to be at your best heading into conference tournament time.
And erase that bad taste of January when they only went 2-6 and lost a lot in the standings. You look at it, UNC Wilmington leading the way at 19-3, a half game in the standings ahead of Charleston at 8-2. We mentioned Stony Brook and Drexel in that mixed tie for third, and you see a 4-way tie for fourth. William and Mary, Hofstra, Elon in that mix, and Monmouth. Townsend a half game back of them, and then you got Hampton tied with Campbell at 4-6, and A&T bringing up the rear along with Northeastern as they're both 2-8. Pivotal stretch for the Pirates tonight. Elon Saturday home against William and Mary, and then the big one next Friday as part of NBA All-Star Weekend out in Inglewood. They get North Carolina A&T as part of that HBCU Classic event in the All-Star Weekend.
And they got a freshman by the name of Lewis Walker, who is not only one of the best freshmen in the CAA, he's one of the best freshmen in college basketball, averaging just under 20 points. That is going to be an exciting matchup to see come All-Star Weekend.
It's a great time for Hampton to claw their way up and climb their way up the standings as they only trail by 2 games in the loss column. It can start tonight if they can turn it around in the second half. More from the Convocation Center. Hampton, Elon tied at 33 here on Flow Hoops. Hampton and Elon in a good first half here on Flow Hoops. Sean Robertson along with Kion Brown, the former Radford Highlander, and Jack Lowe, our sideline reporter. Kion, what do you want to see from both teams to begin the next 20 minutes?
Well, for Hampton, you got to continue to play from the inside out. Good things have happened for the Pirates when they started in the painted area, and then for Elon, you have to continue to find trail. He's been unbelievable in the first half, unguardable. you have to consider, if you're Hampton, bringing an extra help defender and try to get the basketball out of his hands.
And if you're Hampton, you hope that Gundelay can provide the big spark that he did in the first 20 minutes, especially on the offensive end when they started that 9-0 run. About to begin the second half. Jack got a chance to hear from Elon's head coach. What do you have to say about it, Jack?
Very much. Sean had the chance to talk to Coach coming into this second half, asked him about the timeout he took in that first half, how to get that run going, because things were going downhill for them. And he talked to his team, got them to get more in transition, play better defense, and he wants rebounds, guys. He wants more rebounds and a lot of them. He also talked about Chandler's contributions coming into the second half. He's been outstanding, 6 of 8, and they're looking to rebound a lot more in the second half, guys.
Thanks, Jack. Tied at 33, Hampton with possession to begin the final 20 minutes. Daniel Johnson, first shot of the half like he did in the first 20 minutes. A little long on that one, as the rebound will go to Isaac Harrell. He's on the floor with Pettis, Kutrell, Carr, and Coakley.
And I like that first possession coming out of the break by Hampton.
Coakley got fouled on a 3-shot attempt by Daniel Johnson.
That's not how you want to start on the defensive end. But on the offensive end, they went with a little Iverson cut over the top. Tried to find a Gundelay on the high-low. But a Gundelay was upset because he didn't get the ball, and rightfully so. He should have got it. He was wide open. And then here, you're Daniel Johnson. You got to allow that offensive player to land. Contest with a high hand, allow him to land, just force a tough shot.
Coakley, a 79% free throw shooter at the stripe, has given Elon their first lead since the midway portion of the first half. And this continues the run that ended the first half.
Yes.
It's now a 9-0 run for Elon. One more for the transfer from George Mason. Made 2 of 3. Played 9 games as a freshman back in the 24-25 season with George Mason. Nearly a minute gone by in the second half as Xavier Long draws contact and will get 2 free throws as Coakley made 2 free throws on one end, picked up his 3rd foul on the defensive end.
For Xavier Long, that's one of the best parts of his game. You know, from a skill set perspective, he is one of the most dangerous players in the CAA. He also leads the league in rebounding. So if he can get it going on the offensive end at a consistent clip while being able to grab those boards, he becomes one of the best players in the Colonial Athletic Association.
He's 20th in the country in total rebounds this year. He's averaging 10.2 boards this season. Hits on both. Winner of the team's Anchor Award last season for his efforts for Coach Thomas, and continuing his strong play this season. 5th tie of the night. This one at 35 as we're 1 minute gone by here in the second half.
See Hampton trying to bring that pressure, not necessarily to try to force a turnover, but to try to get them going, sped up on the offensive end.
Pettis on the floor. He has his 2 fouls. Coakley with 3, Spell on the bench with 2. Kutrell inside against Xavier Long, and he has 20 to lead all scorers.
They ask so much of him. He has to set ball screens. He has to roll hard. He has to defend. He has to rebound. And he's just a ball of energy. He just doesn't stop.
7 of 9 from the field. His career high is 29 against Gardner-Webb. Tough pass by DJ, who recovered it. Struthers left open on the opposite wing for downtown.
That'll get it done. Skip the ball to the opposite end. The defense can't move faster than what that ball is swung. So you'll have opportunities for open 3-point looks.
Hampton just 3 of 12 from 3 in the game. That gave the Pirates the lead. Harrell on the other end misfires. DJ the rebound. Kutrell has the assignment on Long. A Gundelay was calling for it, and he's got it in the post against Harold. too strong, gets his own miss and scores.
We haven't had an answer for the big fella all night long. When you see him upset, just pass him the basketball. When he gets it, good results happen.
Carr for the tie. His first from downtown. He's got 7 to tie it at 40.
There's always going to be tempo playing against Elon, but can you contain it? Can you match up? Can you talk on the defensive end? Can you identify shooters?
They don't get a lot of possessions in a game. They only average about 67 possessions per game, but they average 82 points per game.
So efficient. That's scary when you average that much on those few possessions.
Agundale calling for it, feels the double. Agundale takes it away, gets his own miss inside, misses a second time. Long gets an offensive rebound.
Agundale battling down there, a bit tired now.
Yeah. Sets a hard screen, finds Long, then gains Wyatt, misses the 3. Elon with a chance to retake the lead. They go to Kuthro. Faces up against Long. Good hands by Long. Kuthro gets it back and scores with the left hand.
Too much activity down low. Man, you got to find a way to stop it. Cooler heads are going to have to prevail here, but at the same time, find a way to slow this man down. My goodness.
He's playing like a beast tonight.
My
22 points in 20 minutes of work. And at least 6 of those field goals have been with below that CAA logo. Here's Gaines Wyatt. That basket will not count as the foul happened before the shot. And that's going to be on Jawan Carr, his second. Coach Billy Taylor goes to his bench, finds the freshman DeMarco Johnson from out of Long Beach. Played his prep school at Oak Hill Academy in Virginia.
Such a historic program at Oak Hill. You think of the guys that's been through that program. The Rajon Rondos, the Carmelo Anthonys. And Kevin Durant had a cup of coffee there.
Yeah. Bunch of NBA stars at one time or another has played at Oak Hill. Under 10 to shoot for Hampton. Gaines Wyatt trying to maneuver inside. DJ has it with 1 to shoot. Gets it off and hits.
I like that. Utilize that pump fake to freeze the defense. Get to your spot, knock it over the defense.
They're going to get a warning called on Hampton for a delay of game, and that brings us to immediate timeout. 15:40 to go in the game, and we're starting off again what we had at half. Tied at 42 between Hampton and Elon. The big play by Gaines Wyatt gets Hampton level. 6th through the 10th for the Air Force Reserve CAA Men's Basketball Championship. Grab your tickets today at caasports.com/MBB. And don't miss out on the madness at the Care First Arena, the home of the CAA Men's Basketball Championships. Tied at 42 between Elon and Hampton. Jack?
John, I talked with the referee during that timeout. A bit of confusion what that foul was. Referee told me it was a warning to Hampton for delay of game. Hampton was holding the ball. That was number 25, and that's Xavier Long. Held the ball for too long, so it was a delay of game warning to Hampton. Guys?
Thanks, Jack. 15:40 left in regulation with 7 ties and 7 lead changes in this game between Elon and Hampton. The Pirates just a game back in the standings behind Elon and 3 other teams for 5th. And inside is Harrell sneaking in and is fouled as he missed the layup.
That was one of those ones where they were trying to wait to see if the ball went in before they called the foul. But that was just an easy way to break that press if you're Elon. No resistance at the rim.
There have been a couple of lapses defensively, which Coach Thomas is going to show this back and be like, we cannot have that.
Yeah, especially this late into the season. As the days go on, you get closer to that CAA tournament in Washington, D.C. that you were just talking about.
Harrell at the line, the most experience of the 5 returning players for Elon this season. A 63% shooter from out of Jonesboro, Arkansas. He won 2 state basketball titles in high school at Jonesboro High. And his 2 made free throws has given the Phoenix a 2-point lead. Rink on the floor with Haskins, Johnson, Gaines, Wyatt, and Long. Long tries to go baseline against Harrell. Feels the double. Johnson in the lane. And the rebound squeezed in by Harrell.
It's another great possession on that defensive side by Elon. Another tough 2 that they just forced by Hampton.
Nice 2-man game, and Spell gets the basket.
That's how you run that pick and roll to perfection. Catch the ball, go up strong over the outstretched arms of the Hampton defense.
DeMarco Johnson gets the assist. He's 3rd on the team in assists and in the top 17 in the conference in assists per game. Here's Gaines Wyatt to the basket and fouled.
He's so quick off of the bounce. Not much you can do, especially with that strong frame. He's like Baron Davis. You remember Baron Davis from UCLA?
I do.
Same build. It's like a running back. As soon as he drives, those guys just bouncing off of him.
He was part of that Golden State team.
Yeah, we believe.
Yep. Where the AC knocked off the number 1 seeded Mavericks that year in the playoffs. Was it the year after they won the NBA final? Gaines Wyatt at the line now with 10 points in the game. Mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Gaines Wyatt for Hampton and Kuthral for Elon, 2 men that live at the free throw stripe this season.
Because when you have the scouting report on those guys, you know that their tendencies are to attack the paint first before they do anything else. It's one thing to know they want that. It's one thing to know that they want to do that. It's another thing to stop it.
Big sequence here. Kuthral on the bench for Elon with a 3-point lead. Here's Coakley for 3. Long yanks down the rebound, taken away by Spell. And Hull misses on the 3. Last touch by Johnson of Elon. Hull had a real good look off of that turnover. That's his first miss from 3 tonight.
The offense is starting to flow a bit for Elon. They're shooting 48.5% in this game. Then if you're Hampton, you're only down 3, but you got to as a positive because you're only shooting 36%.
And just 3 of 13 from 3.
Yeah.
But if they hit from downtown, it will tie the game. Here's Agundale. The double comes. He got whacked across the face. Out to Johnson for 3. And they're going to get a foul on Elon, and that might be against Hull. He reacted in disgust about that, and Tony Crisp gave that look to say, that was your warning.
Right here, this is the special teams of basketball. We call it the blobs and slobs. Baseline out of bounds, sideline out of bounds. If you're Elon and you're on defense, you got to protect the rim because Hampton loves to slip the ball screens and gets close to the basket. That time just electing to throw it in.
The blob and the slob.
Yeah, man.
Another acronym by Kion. 10 to shoot for the Pirates, down by 3. Here's Gaines Wyatt from the elbow. Tough shot that drops in as the shot clock was winding down.
Yeah, that's tough. There's been a lot of excellent shot making tonight on both sides.
A dozen for Gaines Wyatt. Here's Harrell to Middleton, had it blocked. A made basket for Hampton retakes the lead. Struthers for 3, ring it up.
When you don't get back in transition and you don't match up, that's what happens. Open three-point shots by Mr. Struthers.
A 6-0 run for Hampton has given them a 2-point lead. It's the 8th lead change tonight. Hull will try to answer and does.
One of the most dangerous players from 3 in the CAA. You got to account for him at all moments. That time he came off of the pin down curl right off of it like it was shoot around.
37% from distance for Hall. Long could not counter. And Elon with the rebound and a 1-point lead as we're coming up on 12 minutes to go here in the game. Coakley on the floor with Middleton, Johnson, Harold, and Hull, who has it against Gaines Wyatt. Middleton tried to set the screen. Coakley has it with 5 to shoot. The fall away, no good. Tip, no good. Gaines Wyatt the board. Long almost lost it. And Gaines Wyatt will set it. Gundele looks a little tired on the post.
He's working down there.
Yep. Trying to call for it against Middleton. Pass stolen by Johnson. Here's Johnson taken away by Cooper. And saved by Elon. Here's Hall for 3 as he hit the deck. Offensive rebound. Actually was checking. Cooper had the rebound for Hampton.
It's a long stretch of basketball for both teams.
Gaines Wyatt, tough shot. Middleton with the rebound. Here comes Elon. The lob to Johnson.
That's how you do it. You run the floor, you get rewarded. Both teams are tired right now.
Yeah.
This is a very long stretch.
There's some exhausted guys in this long stretch of play without a foul. Coakley looks like he's favoring that left shoulder. Cooper misfires on the shot and Hull the rebound.
And when you're tired, you settle. Right? There was an open lane to the basket if you remain patient. But since you've been going so long, you just shoot that jump shot, try to get something up.
Hampton hasn't scored in over 2.5 minutes and trailed by 3. Coakley guarded by Struthers. Harold was looking for the 3, and he'll go baseline and scores. Blew right past Long to give Elon a 5-point lead.
Yeah, man. That's just that tiredness we've been talking about. You got to dig deep. Right now it's all about will and want to until that media comes.
And there's the whistle that brings us to the under 12 timeout with 9:56 to go. Elon in the midst of a 7-0 run, turning defense into offense. The alley-oop to Johnson has given Elon a 5-point lead. Nothing run, and they're doing it with Kuthrell and also Hull.
Yeah, and also the ability to shoot the 3. If you're Hampton, you got to have a good stretch of defense here because Elon is getting what they want on the offensive end, particularly in the pick and roll situation. So ball screen defense has to be at the top of the priority list for Hampton right now as well.
Phoenix shooting 54% from the field in the second half and held Hampton to 5 of 15 shooting after halftime.
Right here, if you're Hampton, you're down 5. You got to be able to execute after the timeout.
And they would do it without Gaines Wyatt as he's going to get a breather, an extended breather, after the media timeout. Elijah Kennedy, wearing number 8, sees his first action of the half. Kennedy guarded by Hull. Shot clock under 10 for the Pirates. Daniel Johnson will have to work with 3 to shoot. Got Coakley in the air and drops it in.
Daniel Johnson picking his spot again. He's done that about 3 or 4 times already tonight. Offense is getting to the end of the shot clock. He's just finding his spots and going up over the defense and scoring.
Pirates force a turnover. Kennedy on the other end. No whistle as Hull hit the floor. And Elon back on offense with a 3-point lead.
Great job by Hull to contest on that transition defense without fouling.
Great deflection there by Kennedy off of an Elon jersey, and Hampton regains possession. There are very few coaches in the CAA that are as animated as Coach Thomas is during the course of a game.
And there's very few coaches in the CAA that has the wardrobe. That man can dress.
Yes,
man.
he can. Under 9 to go in regulation. Elon with a 3-point lead. They've led by as many as 5 in this half. Agundale finds Daniel Johnson for 3. Ring it up. Johnson in double figures with 11, and that is now the 8th tie of the game.
He's on a 5-0 run by himself. Showing you the midi, then showing you the extension on the 3. Got to continue to find the hot hand if you're Hampton.
First made 3 of the night for DJ. Kuthro back in for Elon. He gets a touch against Long with 5 to shoot. Kuthro scores again.
Man.
Oh, and says someone is a little too short to guard him.
They're too short. They're too tall. It doesn't matter what they are. They can't guard him. He's unbelievable. Gosh, the amount of effort and energy that he displays on the offensive end. Posting hard, using that quick first step, using excellent pivots and shot fakes to freeze the defense.
Here's Agundale inside. Gets his own miss and will score.
That's been the recipe for success for the big fella all night long. He's not been able to convert many on the first shot, but he's getting his offensive rebound and getting really clean putbacks.
10 points and 6 rebounds in 19 minutes for the transfer from Tennessee State. Have our 9th tie of the game as we're inside 7.5 minutes. Carr looks inside to Kuthro, who missed it. Gets his own miss and will score yet again.
Man, I mean, whenever they need a bucket, they just find him, and he converts.
What'd you say before? If it ain't broke, don't fix it?
Nope. Just keep feeding the big fella.
26 for Kuthro. The lob inside to Agundale. Feels a double team, and he almost got that chance for a 3-point play, but he'll go to the line when we come back as we're under the under 8 media timeout. Elon 57, Hampton 55 with 6:51 in regulation here on Flow Hoops. As we take a look at the hustle stats from tonight's game, Kion.
Yeah, well, the great Jay-Z said it best. Men lie, women lie, and the numbers don't. And you see those points in the paint for Elon. It's been a lot of Chandler Cottrell, 26 points on 10 of 13 from the field. Virtually unguardable. You got to find a way to slow him down if you're Hampton. At the same time, Hampton has also been able to get it done in the painted area. So we said it all night long. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Both teams are going to have to continue to play from the inside out, get paint on their shoes, force extra help defenders, and then make the best offensive play that they possibly can.
And Coach Thomas getting very close to that offensive rebound number that he wanted to see. They got 11 rebounds so far. He wanted them to get at least 13, and if he felt that was the number for them to be in this game. They're in it, down by 2, and they're -2 in that stat, but +5 overall, Kion, in offensive rebounds, 11-6.
You got to continue to put pressure on this Elon defense. The next foul means you're shooting free throws for the rest of the game.
Agundale, a big night for him offensively, 10.6 rebounds, and has provided a presence on both ends of the floor against Billy Taylor, the head coach of Elon. Agundale got that roll to drop. And he'll take a little breather. So now Hampton will go small and probably play Xavier at the 5 on this possession.
Yeah, Xavier Long has a lot of responsibility, especially guarding Cottrell. He's going to have to talk on those ball screens. He's always also going to have to show that effort while he's posting up. Basketball here on the inside.
Harold looking for Kuthro. Carr has it with under 10 to shoot. Carr against Cooper. Kuthro has it with 2 to shoot. Harold tipped it to Hull and a new 20 for Elon. Coakley now on a switch by Long. Shot clock is under 10. Here is Hull, fades away over Gaines Wyatt and drops it in.
That's just a tough shot. That's off the bounce. That's not even in an offensive set. But you also have to understand the scouting report. You said it earlier. He likes to shoot threes. And Hampton understands that. But you got to have a high hand early and often.
And Harold comes up with a turnover. Only the 7th turnover for Hampton tonight as they trail by 3 as we're coming up on 5.5 to go. And a foul is on Hampton. Quentin Cooper called for his 3rd.
That's only your 3rd team foul if you're Hampton. That means with 5 minutes and 27 seconds left, you can play aggressive and play the passing lanes and try to get steals and force turnovers.
Struthers will come in after that foul on Cooper. Carr off of the Coothwell screen, the switch on Long. Under 10 to shoot for Hull and Elon. Finds Carr, goes by Long with the left hand and scores.
Such a patient drive that time by Carr. Using that Euro to free up and freeze the defense and just a nice lefty layup.
A 5-point Elon lead, and Coothwell comes up with a big block on Gaines Wyatt.
Yeah, Gaines Wyatt looking for a foul. That was not a foul. If you're going to drive the basketball, you got to be a bit more ruthless when you do it.
Yeah, Gaines Wyatt says something to Isaac Barnett about that defensive play. A fresh 20 now for Hampton as they trail 61-56. Inside money time here at the Convocation Center. Struthers for 3. His 3rd from downtown, now in double figures with 11.
That started because of Daniel Johnson's pump fake. His pump fakes have meaning because he was able to hit some shots in the second half. You pump fake, get the defense off their feet, drive the lane, commit an extra help defender, pass it out to an open 3-point shooter.
The touch to Coothwell, taken away by Gaines Wyatt, and a foul on Coothwell. Only his 1st of the game. But as you mentioned about 3 minutes ago, it puts Elon over the limit, sending Hampton to the line.
Now you got to convert. As the game goes on, free throws are much more pressure.
Team shooting 73% tonight from the stripe. A little conversation between Barnett and Gaines Wyatt. And they have the right man at the stripe. Jalik Gaines Wyatt, the transfer from Alcorn State, a 1-and-1, and I jinxed him.
Man, it's tough. At home, you got to knock him down.
4 of 7 from the line tonight for Gaines Wyatt. A big miss there as Hampton remains down 2. Hampton still playing man on this trip. Barnett gets Struthers in the air and a chance at a 3-point play, speaking of Harold. And that brings us to our final media timeout of the night. A big opportunity for Harold to complete a 3-point play when we come back as Elon leads 63-59.
Let's talk about SAC. SAC stands for
Huddle, and our players to watch from earlier tonight. Chandler Coothwell living up to the hype from our pregame show.
He's been a man on a mission. And as this game is drawing near, you got to think that Elon is going to continue to play through him because Hampton has no answer for him. There's an old cliche in basketball. People say whoever wants it more is going to win. That's ridiculous. I don't agree with that. This game is going to come down to a few things. Who can knock down free throws, who can protect the basketball, who can get defensive stops, and who can execute on the offensive end.
Last trip, Harold was able to execute and has a chance at a 3-point play, which he was able to convert for his 7th point. It's a 5-point Elon lead with under 4 minutes to go in regulation. Coach Thomas told us if we could hold Elon to under 70, we got a really good chance. Johnson misfires on the 3. Last touched by Pettis of Elon.
Elon went with a zone look on that possession. So if you're Hampton, you have to recognize that and say, what are the weak areas in the zone? It's the free throw line area and it's that short corner. bigs have to play in a tandem and find open shooters.
Pettis signaled to his coach to challenge, and Coach Taylor will do just that. They will go to the replay to see if, in fact, Pettis did touch that last, as we will take immediate timeout.
The call on the floor is Hampton's basketball. This play is under review.
As you just heard from Tony Crisp during our break, as all three officials were checking the replay, and from that vantage point, Kion, they looked like that might have gotten the call right.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to remain Hampton basketball. And now you got this deficit. If you're Hampton, you're down 5. You need every break that you can get.
Tony Crisp, Trey Styons, and Isaac Barnett are looking at what you're watching right now on Flow Hoops to see if, in fact, the call will stand. Now, Elon made the challenge. If it's unsuccessful, they will lose a timeout, which would mean they would have one left for the final 3:40. And let's see whether, like, they're still going to look at one more replay before announcing the call on the floor. Looked like from that last angle, it looked like Pettis may have touched it last.
Yeah, definitely close.
And it has to be.
I want to say this is going to stick with Hampton. I don't know that for sure. Referees are still discussing it. The best angle we had, it looked like it went off the fingertips of Elon. However, even if it didn't, I don't know if there's enough evidence to overturn this, guys.
And that's the biggest thing, is whether or not they have indisputable evidence to overturn that call. Taking an awfully long time with this conference, which gives both teams an extended timeout to work out some things for the final 3:40.
After review, the play stands. Home team ball.
So Tony Crisp makes it official. It'll stay with Hampton, and that will be a charge timeout to Elon on that unsuccessful challenge. So that leaves them with one left in the final 3:40 here in regulation.
Right now, all of the pressure is on Hampton. You got to convert on the offense end while getting stops on the defensive end, especially against this Elon team who has found their offensive flow.
Sean Robertson, Kion Brown, Jack Lowe here at the Convocation Center for this CAA clash, as Gaines Wyatt will have to use a timeout as he was caught in that coffin corner.
Yes.
A 30-second timeout with Elon holding on to a 5-point lead.
That is the one place where you cannot pick up the basketball, in that coffin corner, as you mentioned. And not only do you have to account for the two defenders that's trapping you, you also have to account for that sideline and that baseline that also acts as extra help defenders.
We don't hear a lot of quadruple teams in basketball, right. But in that coffin corner, that will happen. Hampton, after tonight, will have a home game against William and Mary this Saturday. Again, one of those teams tied for 4th in the standings at 5-5, and then they'll get a few days to travel out west to play in Los Angeles, All-Star Weekend in Inglewood against North Carolina A&T. As Mama Lucille watching on, as a look inside goes to Xavier Law. He doesn't get it to go, and the rebound squeezed in by Coakley.
Got to finish those. And at the same time, if you're Elon, you don't have to force anything. Time is on your side. All you got to do is protect this 5-point lead, run clean offense, get the shot that you want.
And no basket.
They want that and
they wanted that continuation.
That's the new rule.
Yep. And they can't challenge it because they have no more challenges. And they're going to say that foul happened on the floor, so it's a non-shooting foul as well. So Elon will have to inbound from the baseline with that 5-point lead.
And I think I agree with Coach Billy Taylor. I think you got to call those.
Yeah.
That is an and one. If you're going to change the rule where it's continuation like you see in the NBA, that definitely was what we just saw.
We'll say once he had that gather, it looked like that was a continuation.
Yes.
A break for Hampton, down by 5. Coakley loses the handle, gets it back with 6 to shoot. Kuthrow stepped on the baseline.
Just got to have court awareness right there for Kuthel.
He was demonstrating that Haskins may have used that forearm to force him out, but no call against the Pirates with 3:02 left. Aiden Haskins, number 13, in a pivotal moment of the game on the floor for the Pirates.
Still a 2-possession game, so you don't have to force anything.
Gaines Wyatt guarded by Pettis. And a foul called on Elon. See, I think this is where the absence of Michael Ealy is magnified in these last few minutes of the game.
Yes, because any other time you know where that ball is going if you're Hampton. But if you're Elon, you got to play more disciplined defense. You can't allow Hampton to put points on the board while no time is running off of the clock.
This is a 1-and-1 for Gaines Wyatt. Another miss from the stripe. That's 2 straight misses for Gaines Wyatt at the stripe, and it remains a 5-point Elon lead.
And they're not forcing anything because you don't have to.
No. Shot clock is under 10. Kuthel guarded by Struthers with 2 to shoot. Gets it out to Pettis. He gets it off in time, and a miss for Elon as Agundale grabs the rebound.
But if you're Hampton, you got to push the basketball as well. You can't allow this defense to get set.
2 minutes to go. 2-possession lead for Elon. Agundale inside. Nice pass and a block from behind by Harold.
Excellent help right there for Elon. I love the fight by the big fella Agundale, but that's just a better defensive stop.
A pick by Harold to leave Carr free. Kutrell is calling for it against Struthers, and they're going to get Agundale with the foul on Carr. His third is the last foul to give for Hampton with 94 seconds left in regulation.
If you're Hampton, you cannot foul here.
A new 20 for Elon on the inbound. DJ has the assignment on Carr. Carr caught up on the baseline, finds Kutrell. Carr gets it back with 3 to shoot. And DJ with the rebound.
There you go, you got to push it.
Wyatt thought about it, goes into the lane, draws contact, and gets 2 more free throws.
It's definitely the right call. Using that off arm on the drive to kind of wrap around him. But what's been the Achilles heel for Hampton? It's been the free throw line. You got to knock them down.
Hampton 4 of 8 from the line in this half. Gaines Wyatt has missed his last 2 attempts from the stripe, and those were front ends of 1-and-1s. This is a 2-shot shooting foul for the junior from out of New York. He kind of looked up in the rafters like, finally, got one to drop.
That's the real thing. When you miss those free throws, it starts getting in your head, especially in a time like this when it's so important. You have to knock them down. You knock this one down, it's just a 1-possession game.
Ned Hull returns to the Elon lineup as Wyatt hits both. He's got 14 to lead the Pirates and almost got a steal on the inbound. The double comes. Hull has it. Here's Coakley with the Euro. Out to Harold for 3. Offensive rebound for Elon. And a foul on Haskins.
Oh, man. That's tough. Got to close possessions with defensive rebounds. long rebound, couldn't secure it, now you foul. There's still pressure on Elon to knock down these free throws as well.
Harold, a 63% shooter. Perfect tonight from the stripe, 3 of 3. Missed it. And the rebound to Johnson.
For Hampton, you don't necessarily need a 3. You just need the best offensive look.
They look to Haskins for the tie, and he can't convert. Long will foul Kuthrell with 34.7 seconds to go. Might have been too hard to pass up on that good look.
That was a definite good look. But at the same time, more pressured free throws for Elon.
So Kuthrell at the line. Might be the right person to foul. He's 4 of 8 tonight from the stripe. He's got 26 to lead all scores.
You want to win on the road, you got to knock down your free throws, especially at times like this to extend the lead.
Struthers comes back in to replace Kennedy. I think everybody is in the free throw area for Kuthrell to take his free throw. Missed that one, and Johnson the rebound. Here's Wyatt. DJ passed up the 3, now a step back 3, good!
What a shot.
Both players were tied up. Long and Kuthrell were tied up on that play. But Daniel Johnson, the step back 3, ties it at 64.
You talk about ice in your veins, the step back, shooting it up with conviction, knocking it down. My goodness, Daniel Johnson.
He was aggressive early in this game, then took a step back and literally took a step back to hit that 3 to tie it.
There was no doubt in his mind that he was going to shoot that one. Wow.
Tony Crisp has just told his colleagues that they're going to review that last play away from the ball. You might have seen that at the bottom right portion of your screen after Daniel Johnson hit his 3. That Long and Kuthrell were tied up away from the ball, and that's what Tony Crisp is now going to look at.
I think it was just guys competing. I don't think it was much on that.
And after Crisp looked at that for about 3 seconds, he said nothing. Like you said, just guys competing. Now what do you do? Obviously, we know what Elon's going to do, but what are you going to do for Hampton defensively?
You try to speed him up because you know that Elon isn't going to force anything. Elon's going to hold the ball. You have to. You don't give Hampton the opportunity to potentially, win the ball game if you miss.
Shot clock is off for Elon. We're either going to have a win for the Phoenix or overtime. Carr has it against Gaines Wyatt. And Taylor, Coach Taylor saying be patient with 7 seconds left. Here's Carr against Gaines Wyatt. Out of bounds, saved, and we go to overtime. Hampton played it perfectly.
Yep, you got all the momentum heading into overtime. You're at home, you got the 3 to tie the game, and then at the same time you got the stop to close out the game and send it for 5 extra minutes. Hampton's got to feel good about themselves.
We got free basketball at the Convocation Center. Tied at 64. Back with the overtime when we come back on Flow Hoops. Robertson, Kion Brown, the former Radford Hollander, Jack Lowe, our entire Hampton crew here at the Convocation Center. Daniel Johnson, the three-pointer with the clock winding down, ties it at 64, and then great defense by the Pirates to force overtime.
But what else was the scenario that got Hampton back in this situation? Elon only shooting 62% from the free throw line in the second half. You have to knock down free throws when the pressure is on. They left too many at the line at the front end of one-of-ones, and now you got Hampton with all the momentum heading to this extra period.
Kothro and Agundale will jump it up. Toss controlled by Elon, as it was last touched by Agundale.
Out of bounds, Elon University ball.
And I think, I thought for a minute there Coach Thomas was going to do a challenge, but I don't think so.
You got to rely on your principles here. You're one of the best defensive teams in the CAA. Trust your guys here. We'll see what they're going to do.
Coach Thomas was looking at the bench, but instead of a replay challenge, they were going to bring in Rink for Agundale. I thought he kept looking to see if he was going to make a challenge.
Yeah.
And now he's going to make the challenge. That's what I first thought he was going to do instead of making the substitution.
Well, in overtime, possessions matter. So if you can steal this one, that's a good look for your squad. A lot of times in college basketball, what you'll see now is guys, those extra assistant coaches have film on the sidelines, and they'll watch and then tell the coach whether they should make that challenge or not.
Yeah, usually one assistant coach has been designated to hold the tablet to check the review, check the replay, to let the head coach know, yeah, good challenge, make the challenge. We don't see this too often on a jump ball, but we're going to see it here tonight. And Mama Lucille is nervously awaiting the announcement to see if Hampton will get possession to start the overtime. Let's watch it again. They said Agundale touched it last. Boy, that's close.
Yeah, it looked like it hit off of, oh, no.
Oh, no, it went off the foot.
Yeah, for sure.
Right there.
Yes.
I think that went off of Kutrell's foot.
For sure. And you can always tell how the ball changes its rotation.
Yeah, the call on the floor was Elon's basketball. And if Hampton does win this challenge, they keep their timeout and keep that challenge for later in the overtime.
That's huge. Especially when the game come down to the wire like this one is. I'm sure they had the same angle that we did. I think you might got to overturn that one. I think that one was pretty easy.
It looks like it could Hampton. I think it should be Hampton ball. Not much evidence over this one, though. A very close, a little bit blurry replay. I think I'm going to stick with Elon, but would not be surprised if they chose to overturn. Guys.
After review, the ball is kicked by Elon, number 7, but then touched by White. The challenge is unsuccessful. It will be a charged timeout.
Wow.
Yeah, that's huge.
So they said after Kuthro kicked it, it went off of Agundale.
Yeah.
So the unsuccessful challenge for Hampton, and they lose a timeout. That leaves them with one left in the overtime, and they're out of challenges. So both coaches are done with challenges here in the extra session.
Yeah, if you're Hampton, you got to compartmentalize, try to get a defensive stop.
Big block by Rink on the shot attempt by Carr with 8 to shoot.
Unique Rink right there with the help side defense. The further away you are from the basketball, the more you can help. Unique Rink's man was on the right side of the wing. The opposite wing had a drive. Come over and block it.
Carr will inbound to Kuthro. 5 to shoot. Here's Kuthro inside. Tip no good. Another tip is good by Chandler Kuthro. Now with 28 to lead all scorers.
Man, he's just everywhere. Got to put a body on him. I know you're trying to come over and block those shots, but you got to understand the assignments and understand who you're leaving when trying to attempt those block shots.
Elon back in front by 2. Johnson's shot was blocked by Coakley. And out of bounds, back to Hampton.
A Little offense-defense substitution right here for Hampton. Ogundele is back in the game. Good things have happened when he's gotten the basketball on the inside.
Kind of like that rotation in the post with Ogundele and Rink. Now this will be a replay by the officials. I think they're checking maybe the clock in this case. Because remember, both coaches lost their challenge. As Tony Chris just mouthed to us, it's going to be a replay on the clock situation. So a free timeout for both teams here with 4:10 left in overtime.
We set it to close out the game. Execution, free throws, defensive stops. Hampton has to execute here. You have to.
And we got to go back to how this game went into overtime.
Yep.
And that was that Daniel Johnson 3 to give him 14 on the night. As we're checking that replay again, we knew it was last touched by Elon as Kuthrell stepped on the baseline. But the situation was on the big clock.
4:12 on the game clock, guys. 4:12 on the game clock. We'll have 11 on the shot clock if that's what they're looking at.
Jack's on top of that, looks like. Jack said 4:12 on the big clock, which he's right on the money. And a new 20 for Hampton on the change of possession. Oh, they reset it to 11. Jack is the fourth official here tonight. I was going to say, were they going to call a hold on Coakley? Coakley held long on the inbound, and that will be 5 on Coakley, and he's gone. And I'm not wearing stripes, but I was, from our vantage point, Coakley had a bear hug on Xavier Long.
That went over my head. I didn't see much. I was watching the inbound.
Coach Billy Taylor not liking that call, but Coakley had his arm wrapped around Long, and they're going to bring in Ned Hull to replace Coakley, who will leave with 6 points on the night.
Ned Hull has 3 threes on the night. Got to account for him.
He's only the second player in double figures outside of Kuthrell, who has 28 to lead all scorers. Long at the line has pulled Hampton to within 1. As that offense for defense substitution continues for Coach Thomas. Rink for Ogundele. And Long has one more for the Pirates. Tied at 66, the 11th tie of the game.
But can you close possessions out with defensive rebounds if you're Hampton? You're doing a good job getting Elon to the end of the shot clock. But you got to close these possessions with defensive rebounds.
Struthers has the assignment on Carr. Pettis loses it out of bounds. Wow. Unforced turnover, only the 10th tonight for Elon.
Those are the ones that hurt, especially when Elon is going through their offensive sets.
And Hampton with a chance to retake the lead. They have not led since the 13:02 mark of the second half. Rink guarded by Kuthrell. As we're coming up on 3.5 minutes in overtime. Struthers for 3. Long and offensive rebound. Extra pass. Johnson in the corner. Hits from downtown.
The best time to get open three-point looks off of offensive rebounds. And that extra pass, that time by Struthers, was not only because it was the right pass, it was the pass to find the hot hand.
Johnson with 17 Here is Pettis in the lane. Carr kept that alive, and a new 20 for Elon. Carr being methodical here on this trip. And they get a foul. That's going to be on Gaines Wyatt fighting out that screen.
I think that's one of those ones you got to let these guys play. This is extra basketball. Both teams want it. The ref's doing an excellent job today, but that's one of those ones I'm just letting play on. You're so far away from the basket, it really has no effect on the play moving forward.
I think Gaines Wyatt is saying that to Isaac Barnett. Carr a 1-and-1. He's in double figures with 10, a 70% free throw shooter. Transfer from UNC Pembroke, originally signed with UNC Wilmington out of high school and was redshirted by the Seahawks his freshman year back in 2021. Hits on both. A 1-point Hampton lead. Coming up on 2.5 minutes left in overtime.
And like Elon to close regulation, Hampton doesn't have to force anything as well.
Here's a Gundele inside, and he can't finish. Kuthro his 7th rebound. And Elon with a chance to retake the lead.
A lot of pressure on this Hampton defense right now, knowing you just let a layup get past you.
A switch on a Gundele. Here is Hull in the lane. Shot clock is at 5 for Pettis. Long rebound chased down by Gaines Wyatt against Pettis, and is fouled. Pettis' 4th with 1:55 left in OT.
Jalik Gaines Wyatt attacking in open floor opportunities. The defense is backpedaling. When you're backpedaling, it takes away two things, athleticism and length. All you got to do is attack, go downhill. You'll either get a layup or you'll get fouled.
Gaines Wyatt, 6 of 10 from the stripe. 14 points on the night, now 15. And the lead's at 2 as Rink comes back in for defense. Tell you what, a really solid effort tonight by Josh Agundele. 11 points and 7 rebounds in 23 minutes. And 2 big free throws by Gaines Wyatt, now with 16. 1 possession lead for Hampton with under 2 to go. Rink will play off on Kuthro. Here's Carr into the lane with the reverse. Nice move.
Beautiful finish by Carr.
Coach Taylor wanted a 3-point play, but instead it's a 1-point Hampton lead.
There's a lot of actions that you had to guard. A lot of false actions as well to put the defense to sleep that allow Carr to get to the lane.
Rink way out in front. Was calling for it off of that play by Struthers. Gaines Wyatt is called, or actually draws the foul on Carr, his 3rd. And back to the line, Gaines Wyatt.
Yep, shooting 2 the rest of the way for both teams. So again, it's going to come down to free throws and who can knock them down.
Pirates 17 of 23 from the line. Elon 12 of 20 from the stripe. And these two teams 7th and 8th respectively in the CAA in free throw shooting. Pirates came in shooting 71% from the line. Both teams actually shooting just over 71%. And Gaines Wyatt, 4 huge free throws on back-to-back trips at the line.
Both of these teams feeling the pressure to try to steal this game. Hampton, you got to protect home court for Elon. It's so hard to win on the road, especially in conference play.
Pirates a game back of Elon in the standings. Hall, the head fake, the three on the way is good. His fourth from downtown. He just matched his career high of 14 points.
Another guy whose pump fakes have meaning. You got to respect him as a three-point shooter. So when he shows that basketball, you're going to bite. All he has to do is swipe left, knock it down.
Johnson can't convert. Offensive rebound. New 20. And Coach Thomas is calling a play and telling them to wait.
Isolation in the middle third.
Shot clock is under 10. Here's Gaines Wyatt drawing another foul. What'd you say before? Attack and go downhill.
No doubt about it. Especially when you set ball screens in the middle of the lane. You set it all night. It takes away help defense. And then when you got a guy like Jaleel Gaines Wyatt off of the bounce, nobody can stay in front of him. You got no choice but to foul.
Ooh, that looked like. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if Carr should have been called for the foul.
Yeah.
Carr looked like he got all ball. And Coach Taylor will use a timeout here. They have 3 left. He'll use one. As we'll stay here with 21.4 seconds to go. That might have been one that, again, you said it before, let them play. Any foul it might have been on Kuthral.
Yeah.
Because Carr looked like he had all ball there.
But nonetheless, a great drive by Jaleel Gaines Wyatt. And at the same time, what I love about Hampton and their offense today is they've continued to find the offensive player that's in rhythm, that's in flow. And that'll win you games, especially when it comes down to the end like this. You have to put the basketball in your playmakers' hands. And for much of the night, it's been Jaleel Gaines Wyatt getting it done for the Pirates.
Our crew giving some love to the Elon fans that made the trip from North Carolina off of 85 to make the trip to 64. And they've witnessed a really good game. We've talked about the importance of this matchup. Elon came in 5-5 in the CAA. They're in a 4-way tie for 4th in the standings, and just a game back, sitting tied for 10th, is Hampton at 4-6. So with only 8 regular season games left, playoff seeding positioning vitally important here in February.
Well, it means everything, especially in the leagues like the CAA, the Big South, the SoCon, these one-bid leagues. You want to put yourself in position to be in position, and the best way you do that is by winning games that will reflect for a higher seed come tournament time. That's why these games are so important. As the days go by, we get closer to DC. We get closer to the CAA tournament. And that's when the real pressure comes, because you're one and done. It's not like the Big 10, the Big 12, when there's multiple teams. It's one team representing your league to go dancing.
Jack?
Thank you, Sean. Coach Ivan Thomas during that timeout urging his team, switch on everything, no matter what on defense. Switch on everything. No threes, no matter what, no threes, guys.
And the guy to watch out for shooting at 3 is Ned Hall, who is 4 for 5 from 3 tonight and has matched his career high with 14, and 2 big misses for Gaines Wyatt, and Elon now with a chance to win it on this possession.
You don't have to call a timeout here because you had that timeout before the free throws. All you got to do is execute. Whoa.
Taken away by Struthers. Does he have enough time? Struthers loses it out of bounds, and it's last touch by Hampton. And hold everything. Hold everything. They're going to review to see if there's going to be time on the clock for Elon to get a last shot. And Struthers looked like he got hit in the face on that recovery.
Very close, guys, but I want to say the call on the floor will be correct. We'll see.
Officials will review for timing error.
How crazy has this game been?
This is a good one.
Struthers gets the great defensive play, picks the pocket of Pettis, looks at the clock to see if he has enough time, loses control. Now the question is, did he actually touch it last?
We were wrong on the last one, but I'm going to
Yeah.
go out on the limb and say that should be Elon basketball. But at the same time, if you're Struthers, you don't put your head down. You got the stop you needed.
Yep.
Worst case scenario, this game most likely goes into double overtime.
Tony Crisp announced that they were checking a timing issue. But the other question would be whether or not did Struthers touch that last. And that was – so they're going to add some time on the clock. It'll be Elon's possession because that was only the review for. That was for the review was to see a clock issue. So it's 8/10 of a second. So that's enough time for a catch and shoot on this possession.
But how difficult is that going full length of the court?
Especially when you're going to have Rink defending the inbound, and it's going to be a spot inbound for Harold, who's down 6'8".
What you cannot do right here if you are Hampton is foul.
Yep.
Let them catch it clean.
Coach Taylor saw the defensive setup, and he will use a timeout. And that leaves him with one left. And that's a great point, Kion, because remember, both teams will shoot on every foul.
Yes.
And that would be 2 shots if Hampton, God forbid for them, burns a foul here in this situation.
And there was a game yesterday in the Southern Conference that came down to the wire just like this. It was UNCG and Western Carolina. Game was tied. UNCG throws the ball at the half-court line. Western Carolina fouls him. He knocks 2 free throws. The game's over. You cannot do that.
It appears it might be the same defensive setup with Rink defending the inbound, using his length at 6'10", with a 7'4"-ish wingspan, and Harold at 6'8" will inbound from the baseline, the opposite baseline, and it's a spot inbound. Gets it to Hall, gets it off in time, and a hit off the backboard, and we go to a second overtime. Some more free basketball on Flo Hoops. Got anywhere to go?
Hey, man. You got to love it, man. It's college basketball at its best.
Coach Thomas was looking at Tony Crisp to say if that was a walk.
Yeah.
Which would have given them the ball on the baseline.
And also, did the clock start in time?
That's another good point.
Right.
So both teams will regroup. Both teams get an extra timeout. No challenge in the extra session, the second extra session here tonight. And we'll talk more about that when we pause. Tied at 73 here on Flo Hoops. Overtime here at the Convocation Center, 73-73 with Hampton and Elon. Sean Robertson, Kion Brown, Jack Lowe, our entire crew here at the Convocation Center. We were tied at 33 at the half. We were tied at 64 going in the first overtime, and tied at 73 into the second overtime with Hampton controlling the tip.
You're Hampton, you played through Gaines Wyatt. He's making all of the right plays on the offensive end.
And he sees a switch on Johnson. Remember, Elon is down 2 players as Coakley and Carr both fouled out in the first overtime. Shot clock is at 5 for Gaines Wyatt. Good!
Right on cue. He's been the playmaker for Hampton all night long. You got to continue to play through him.
He's got a team high 21, and Hampton has the lead by 3. Hull was looking at a 3 there. Here's Kuthro going up against DJ. And they're going to say Daniel Johnson held. And that will send Kuthro to the line.
Yeah, just so hard to contain. You got to outwork him. You can't let him post up. And if you do, you got to bring the fight to him. Jam him before he can get 2 feet down. Front him if you have to. Then if they throw it over the top, rely on your help defense to be there.
Might not be a bad foul. Kuthro 4 of 9 from the line tonight. He has matched his career high of 29 points that he set against Gardner-Webb back in November. He's never had a 30-point game And he has one now. 30 points, 8 rebounds for the grad transfer from Baltimore, Maryland.
Showing you why he's arguably the best front court player in the CAA.
And could make a case for Conference Player of the Year.
Yes, for sure.
Hampton with a 1-point lead. Here's Gaines Wyatt on the move. Struthers for 3. Rink an offensive rebound. Gaines Wyatt on the move and draws another foul. This one by DeMarco Johnson.
What's the game plan for Hampton? Give him the ball, get out of his way, make plays.
I'm looking at the box score. They have this new stat in the box score, fouls drawn.
Okay.
Before this second extra session, Gaines Wyatt had drawn 11 fouls. Now an even dozen when Johnson picked up his second foul. That's incredible. He's drawn 12 fouls here tonight. And made both free throws. It's a 3-point game for Hampton as we're inside 3.5 minutes. Struthers picked the pocket of Johnson and rocks the rim. He did that to finish the first overtime. This time he was able to retrieve it and bring it home.
Man, what a stop right there by Hampton. What an individual defensive play by Struthers.
He leads the team in total steals this season. And we've got a foul against the Pirates. His third.
That is his third personal foul.
And DeMarco Johnson at the free throw line, but back to that steal.
Struthers said, I'm from round the way. I'm leaving here with something. Then putting some stank on it. What a play.
From that bad news in Newport News. 2 free throws for Johnson, who's only a 54% shooter this season. The lone scholarship freshman on Elon's roster this season. As we mentioned, he played at Oak Hill Academy here in the Commonwealth. Made 1 of 2. So Pettis returns to Elon's lineup to replace Spell as they trail by 4 with under 3 minutes to go.
Trying to put some speed and quickness out on the floor on the defensive side of the ball.
Gaines Wyatt has a team-high 23 points. He has attempted 18 free throws tonight.
Here's that zone look again.
Gaines Wyatt to the rim. And the rebound to Kuthrell.
That's an excellent drive, but you got to be a bit patient. The weaknesses in the zones, right at that free throw line area, right by that CAA, and right at that short corner dunker spot. Bigs have to play in a tandem and find open shooters out on the wing or cut to the basket and get easy layups.
Here is Hall, and he's fouled on his way to the basket.
That's some more of those false actions that I was talking about when you talk about Elon in the half court. They'll lull you to sleep on one end and then have those downhill cutters on the other side trying to get layups.
Hall, a great three-point shooter, and is perfect from the line this year, 11 for 11. And the jinx went against Elon.
Lives on. That's a real thing in basketball. It really is. Like, that is amazing that happens so often.
Made 1 of 2, so he's right around 93% from the line. But it's a now 1 possession lead for Hampton as we're inside 2.5 minutes. He has surpassed now his career high, speaking of Hull, with 15. Johnson guarded by Hull with now 10 to shoot for the Pirates. Struthers on the drive. Nice move.
And it won't show up on the stat sheet, but that play was because of Unique Rink's ability to duck in and shield off that opponent.
Strong pick set by Kuthrell,
Yes.
and he'll shoot for three. And the rebound squeezed in by Struthers and fouled by Johnson. A huge rebound from Etienne Struthers.
All of the momentum is with the Pirates right now. Excellent possession on the offensive end to be patient in the zone and take what the defense gave them. That time it was a drive to the basket.
A miss at the line for Struthers. That was his first attempt from the line tonight. He's normally a 78% shooter on the season.
Yeah, kind of rushed that first one.
Transfer from Appalachian State. Played his high school ball in Minchville in Newport News. 1 of 2 made by Struthers. 16 on the night. He'll get a breather as he's replaced by Haskins. It is a 6-point lead for the Pirates. Hall for 3. And the rebound too long, and he's going to be called for a travel.
And that's unfortunate because Hampton got bailed out. Ned Hull got a flare screen and an open look. And at the same time, right there on that last possession, Hampton took a bad route to try to contest the 3. You have to chase him on that one. You can't snake it. You got to take the quickest route.
Pettis off the inbound, misses on the 3, and they're going to get Hampton again with the foul.
Down to Hampton University's number 2, Jaleel. We will have an official review.
And they will check another clock malfunction that happened on that play
The
in
last
front of
play
us.
is under review for timing error.
So again, Kiana, free timeout for both teams as we take a look at the game stats to the moment. What stands out?
Stands out to me right now is the rebounding war. Both teams are battling, but Hampton has got a lot of the rebounds that won't show up on the screen where it's like 50-50 balls. Those are the ones that will win games. And at the same time, Hampton has done a really good job at protecting the basketball in their home court. 9 turnovers in the double overtime game, you live with that.
Now, if you want to look at those hustle stats,
yes.
Hampton with 17 offensive rebounds, resulting in 25 second chance points. Coach Thomas told us yesterday, if we can get at least 13 offensive rebounds, we got a good chance of winning. They got 17 tonight and taking advantage of those extra possessions. All 3 officials around the replay monitor to check a timing error. With 47.1 seconds on the clock as of right now, but that will change.
Correction on the clock, 47.8.
So they added 7/10 of a second.
Shooting 2.
And as you heard Tony Crisp, Hampton will go to the line.
It's 47.8.
So Hampton will be at the line, and Struthers will get 2 free throws to increase this lead. Could make it a 10-point advantage for Hampton.
After the review, Etienne Struthers will be at the line. Shooting 2.
Big make there. Struthers with 17 on the night. Johnson 18, Agundale 11 and 7, and Gaines Wyatt with 23 to lead the team on 12 of 18 shooting from the line as Haskins re-enters for Hampton. It is their largest lead of the night and is part of a 7-0 run to make this a 10-point advantage.
Now, if you're Hampton, you just got to contest without foul. You know they're going to shoot a quick one.
Which they just did. Harold with the miss, Long the rebound. Doesn't appear like Elon is going to foul here. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Hampton. So if Elon is not going to foul, it appears that Hampton will hold on and win this one, and more importantly, improve to 8-1 here at the Convocation Center.
This is a huge win for Hampton. You said it at the half. Basketball is a game of runs, and it's typically the team who has the longest and or the last run who wins the game. Elon had the first run to start the game, but to close out in this second overtime, it's been all Hampton. Defensive stops, offensive execution, knocking down free throws has been the key for the Pirates.
They have outscored Elon 14-4 in this second overtime. And maybe the depth has come back to hurt Elon. They are missing some key players, to include Kasper Klacik, who is out for his 4th straight game due to injury. And 2 players fouled out in the first overtime.
You talk about Kasper Klacik. He's a guy who you can make the argument that from a skill perspective, he's the best player on this team. So when you get him back, you bring this Elon team to a whole nother level, especially on the offensive end.
And gives them that second scoring threat. Shot clock is off. Hampton does not have to shoot. Elon will not foul. A big comeback win for Hampton as they outscored Elon 14-6 in the second overtime and win it 87-79 to improve to 11-13. And now both teams tied in the standings in the CAA at 5-6. That is a huge comeback for the Hampton Pirates. They were left for dead at some point in that second half. But that Daniel Johnson 3 to force overtime. On Flow Hoops. Hampton wins it in double overtime, 87-79. Outscoring Elon 14-6 in the second overtime. And our player of the game tonight, Jalik Gaines-Wyatt. Team high 23 points on 12 of 18 shooting from the line, Kion.
Seems like the game plan in both overtimes was to give him the basketball and get out of his way. He made play after play, knocked down tough shot after tough shot, was a playmaker. He was unguardable in the extra periods.
This could be like a momentum-building game for Hampton. Down a couple of guys, down your leading scorer tonight, and the next man stepped up. And as Coach mentioned to us, play above your scout. That's what he kept saying, play above your scout, and guys certainly did that tonight. As Coach Thomas joins us here at our broadcast location, as Hampton wins it in double overtime, 87-79. We were just talking about what you mentioned to us, play above your scout. And you had a lot of guys do that tonight, but I want to start with Jalik Gaines-Wyatt, who put that offensive load on his shoulders at the end of regulation and in the overtime sessions to lead the way.
Absolutely. We had a lot of guys step up tonight. You know, I thought we defended pretty well. The game just kept going into overtime. You know, I don't know what the score was in regulation, but then we figured it out in the second overtime. I thought, we gave up some untimely threes in the first overtime that kind of broke it back open towards their momentum. But we kept fighting and we kept fighting and we kept fighting, and that's all I can ask for. These guys to just keep fighting and we'll see what happens while we're at home. Guys played well tonight.
Doing it with guys, your leading scorer, Ely, not playing tonight, and also Watson. But like you said, they kept fighting, How were they able to do it tonight, Coach?
Well, it's just, our culture, energy, effort, enthusiasm, and toughness. We're next man up. That's our philosophy. Cody Williams is out tonight, sick. Michael Lely is out. Christian Watkins is out. Big Jelly, he was laboring a little bit, but he gutted it out. So we just can continue to fight, man. And all of our work that we put in the summer, it pays off. Hard work don't guarantee you success. It just increases your probability of being successful. And we increased our probability tonight by just working hard, and we stuck it out, and we came out with the victory at home.
Daniel Johnson hit a huge three to send the game into overtime. Was that the play that you drew up?
Any play that we draw up and it touches DJ's hand, that's the play. DJ never saw a shot that he didn't like. So, he has the confidence to take that shot. I'm certainly glad he made it. It propelled us into the momentum that we needed. And so I'm just happy with the home victory.
What can a win like this do for the program moving forward? You mentioned the game Saturday at home against William & Mary, and then next week you're in L.A., that huge HBCU Classic as part of All-Star Weekend against A&T.
Well, I'm hoping that we can just continue to do what we've been doing all year long at home. We needed to win our home games, and hopefully we can continue to take this momentum into Saturday. We played the two top offensive teams in the league. We were able to check a box tonight and defend the home court against this offensive juggernaut. Again, I can't harp too much on the 79 points. Yeah. We went in 2 overtimes. Yeah. I thought we defended well. We did give up too many threes. They normally score 8 threes a game. They had 7. So you're cutting it close towards what they want to do. And so we were able to score 9 tonight. That was able to put us over the hump.
And defended the glass, 17 offensive rebounds tonight.
There you go. That toughness stayed at home today, and we attacked the glass, which we had to. But that was the number we wanted to get to.
Congratulations, Coach. Enjoy it.
I appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
Coach Ivan Thomas joining us here on our post-game show as Hampton wins it 87-79 in double overtime over Elon. For our entire crew tonight, it was a good one for Kion Brown and for Jack.